Welcome back, ladies, to the I Am Praise Network, where the favor of God increases every single day. And yes, we're back with another topic that's going to bless your socks off. So, ladies, today we're talking about a statement, a suggestion that I'm going to put out there. And I pray that you just eat the meat and spit out the bones. Stop trying to be chosen. Stop trying to be liked. Stop trying to be chosen. Sometimes God will allow you to go through so much pain, so much heartache, so much frustration and irritation because you're not understanding that things should flow effortlessly. Things should flow at ease. But I'm going to believe that those who are listening, my lady listeners, and other listeners will understand that you are more than enough and you don't have to be chosen because you already are chosen. So stop trying to be chosen. Stop trying to be liked. Be mindful of how and why you're doing things. On a relationship side of things, if everything that you do is irritating somebody, it's a clear sign. If your efforts or your thought processes and the way that you get down is difficult to understand and there's not enough positive that outweighs the negative, they don't like you. And that's okay. But learning how to be okay with that comes from doing some work that obviously it took you years to get into this space of wanting to be chosen, wanting to be liked, centering this idea. You know, whether it came from culture, whether it came from family, whether it came from friends, whether it came from just your own personal fantasies and ideas of how you see things going. Stop trying to be chosen. Stop trying to be chosen. Because if you are trying to be chosen and you get chosen because you're trying to be chosen, imagine how you're going to have to try to keep being chosen throughout a relationship in the future, or even how you're going to have to keep proving yourself in a friendship or a job or whatever the case may be, because they naturally didn't gravitate to you and feel like you were a good fit. It wasn't natural. So now you're doing all the kinds of unnatural things to try to stay ahead of the game. You're doing things you don't normally do. Yes, it's great to have discipline and get up early and do all kinds of different stuff like that. But if you're not normally doing those things, and this is things you're doing because you're trying to be chosen. And I'm not talking about a healthy endeavor of getting a position that you need. Sometimes that can be unnatural and needs to just happen naturally. But, you got to eat the meat and spit out the bones. When it comes to being chosen, even on a relational basis, because in the Divorce Tree Mentorship Program, the Bride's Journey group, and so many different things I do in my community, I hear a lot of conversations. I've experienced a lot of things myself. So I'm speaking from my own experience of even having to fix that in me, because sometimes I'm gonna be honest with you, you'll meet someone, you can get in a connection where, ladies, let's be real with ourselves. You feel like, oh my gosh, this is the love of my life. And I want to do ever and anything for them to see me and me only because I love them so much. But if they're not naturally doing this, I'm starting to see it's better to break my own heart than to get to the place where your heart is broken in a situation because you're trying to be chosen and it's things that are not happening and aligning naturally. There's certain things that just need to happen and align naturally. They just do. Because, I like to put it in my way. I ain't trying to get in the way of somebody getting to their wife. Okay, since we're speaking relationally. And they don't need to be getting in the way of me getting to my husband. And what do I mean by that? If that is my desire, that's not my goal. I'm not centering my life around that. But if that's my thought process, that one day these are certain things in my life that I would like to get and that align with my heart and my journey and things like that. And if that's not there, it's like, don't try to force someone to see, look, it might be nice on this side of life if you would choose my priorities or if you would choose my way. That is unnatural and it's not okay. And people have to come to their own conclusions about what they want. There may be a reason why they want what they want. And you trying to get them to do something else or see you in a different light could be a problem. Because what if they do subscribe? But they do subscribe. And then they realize later on, I don't want this, I don't like this. Now you're wasting your time and theirs. Because you did all this trying to convince folks to see you a certain kind of way. And I'm saying this on a relational side because it kind of reminds me of in the Bible, right? With Sarah and how she brought she wanted a bit. They were told this promise that God was going to give them this baby. And so she brings the handmaiden in because she felt like, I'm too old to be giving him a baby. So I'm going to let somebody else do this because I believe that they are going to give him this promise. I want to see the promise come. That was the problem. God said it was going to be between them two. But because she added other things in the mix, now she resenting this woman. And now we have this lifelong, this battle that has gone for centuries between both of their seeds over the years, if you do history. And it's so many issues that came up to where even the girl ended up running away and Angel had to come tell her to go back. It was so much drama because she was trying to create another plan to make something work. When really God could have just made it work with them. And he eventually did because he keeps his word. And that's the thing is that I don't want you to think like forsake all your hopes and your dreams and the person that you love and, kick them to the streets. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that you gotta let God do things naturally because that's the best way. It may hurt in its natural way. It may hurt in the process of it happening naturally, but you gotta let God do it naturally. You gotta let God do the things that he's doing in your life and be patient. We talked about the last video. Be patient with your process. Be patient with your growth. Now you gotta be patient with other people, but you gotta be patient with God. Because he's not even in the place of waiting. It's you catching up to things that means that your character, that means that your work that you got to do in your inner self, there's certain things that have to catch up. And we already know, everybody knows, at least every woman should know that marriage is not the end all be all for a woman. There's so much more beyond marriage. So we should all know that. If you don't know, now you know. Marriage is not the end all be all. You're still a woman who has purpose in nature beyond that, even with beyond family and beyond that. There's so much purpose in you. There may be business in you. There may be community impact in you. There may be so much in you. So some of you guys have to get to the place, for those who don't know this, that you stop positioning yourself in a place where you're trying to be seen and just walk into space like you own the place. Like forget the whole, I'm going to get them to notice me. No. Forget the whole, I want them to see how let people choose what they're going to choose on a daily basis. Let them choose it. Let them have it. That's what they want to do. If that's how they want to get down, let them do it. Because all it's going to do is reveal truth to you that you need to know, that you need to hear. Because sometimes we're just delaying the inevitable. Sometimes we're delaying the truth we need to see because we're trying to make something be something. I am totally guilty of this. But I'm thanking God today that he's helping me see some things differently. Thanking God today that in this process has been very painful and hurtful, I'm starting to see some things differently. And it starts with my own personal value and worth. Because I know that whomever God has for me, however God plays this thing in my life, that I'm going to be a blessing and an asset. Not because I think, even though I know I'm the baddest chick to do it in my own head for my own life, right? I know that I'm going to walk in humility and love and that I'm going to want my partner, the person God has for me, I'm going to want them to win in every single thing. And I'm going to push them to win in every single way. I'm going to give my best. But I'm starting to understand even more why it's important to know you're already chosen and stop trying to be chosen. I hope this helped you guys today.